Good morning, children. Welcome to another interesting session of physics. In today's class, we will be learning about electric potential and capacitance lesson 2. In the previous session of electrical potential and capacitance, you have learned about what is electric potential and you have known the formula for electric potential as V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. In this session, you will be learning another interesting topic of finding electric potential due to a dipole, as well as what do you mean by equipotential surfaces. I welcome Mr. Subramaniam, N.V. Subramaniam Garu, PGT Physics of TSMS Turkapalli to present his webinar on electric potential and capacitance, lesson 2. Welcome, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Over to you, sir. Please present how to find the electric potential due to dipole, as well as what we mean by electric potential, equipotential surfaces. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam, for the introduction. Welcome back, children. Respected coordinator, madam, principals, and children who have logged into the webinar. Welcome, all of you. Good morning to all of you. I am here to present the second part of electrostatic potential and capacitance lesson. Shall we go into the webinar, children? The learning objectives for this particular lesson, we will learn about potential due to a dipole. Then we will also learn about equipotential surfaces. Let us recall some information which we have learned in our earlier webinar session. Electric potential difference, Vp minus Vr. Vp minus Vr is equal to work done to move the charge from R to P divided by Q value. Electric potential at a point Vp is defined as the electric potential at any point P is the work done in bringing a unit positive charge from infinity to point P in the electric field. Its expression is Vp is equal to work done to bring the charge from infinity to P by Q value. Also recall the formula for the potential as per the distance. Potential due to a point charge at any point P in its electric field is V is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by R. This is an important expression, children. This we will be using throughout this particular chapter. Please remember. Okay. So V is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by R. I will use this formula again and again, even in this particular webinar session. Shall we move into the lesson, children? You have also learnt about potential due to a system of charges and the superposition principle. Potential at the point P is due to a number of charges is V is V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus V4. V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 by R1 plus Q2 by R2 plus Q3 by R4 plus Q4 by R4, so on. When number of charges are there, we will use this principle. So on the screen you are able to see an electric dipole. This you have already dealt with in your unit 4 electric charges and fields lesson. What is an electric dipole? A system consisting of two equal and opposite charges, plus Q and minus Q, separated by distance 2a. The electric dipole moment of this system P bar is equal to 2aq into P cap. 2a is the distance, q is the charge. P cap is the unit vector in the direction of the dipole moment. P bar is a vector and its direction is from minus q to plus q along its axial line. I suppose all of you know what is the axial line. This yellow color line, what you are seeing is the axial line. A line perpendicular to the axial line is called equatorial line. If you remember, in your unit 4, we have dealt about electric field on the axial line, also electric field on the equatorial line. You know that electric field exists both on the axial line as well as equatorial line of an electric dipole. So, if you might remember, we had derived two expressions. We had derived two expressions, if you remember. One, this is, for suppose this is plus q charge and this is minus q charge, and this is the dipole axis. For any point on the axial line, the electric field on the axial line you derived, yes or not? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 2p by r cube, just in terms of the formula. Similarly, on the equatorial line, you derived for any point on the equatorial line, E equatorial is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 p by r cube, where r is the distance of that point from the center. Okay, like that here also distance. Okay, I hope I am clear. So this is only for your memory. This has some link to this particular lesson. Please remember, at point on the axial line also field will be there. At point on the equatorial line also field will be there. That means electric field can be calculated. Okay, let's move on, children. And what is the direction of P bar? It is a vector and its direction is from minus q to plus q along the axial line. That means, remember, please remember, all of you carefully, plus q minus q, two charges. This is the dipole axis. Okay, this is the axial line. What is the line, children? Axial line. And dipole moment is minus q to plus q. This is the direction. This is the direction. From where to where? Minus q to plus q, in this direction. Okay, so let me move on, children. Now let us learn in this particular part 2, potential due to an electric dipole. Okay, so consider plus q charge, minus q charge of the dipole. Distance between them is 2a. This is the axial line, black color line of the dipole. This is the center. O is the center of that particular line joining plus q and minus q. Okay. Here P is a point in the space. R is the distance from O to P. I want to calculate the electric dipole moment at the point P. Sorry, I want to calculate the potential at the point P. Okay, due to this electric dipole. What is the distance from plus q to P? Let us see, R1. What is the distance from minus q to P? R2. So is this clear, children? Data. O to the point, distance is R. Plus q to the point, distance is R1. Minus q to the point, distance is R2. This 2a, I can divide as two parts. One part A, another part A. Next, the angle between the dipole axis, that is this line, dipole moment actually. Okay, just a minute. So that figure is like this actually, if you see. Okay, so it is like this, plus q minus q, and point is taken. Okay, and this is the angle. What is this angle between this line? This line is actually p bar. I told no, minus q to plus q, and this is r. Okay, if I consider this direction O to P, okay, from O to P, if I consider this direction, take a unit vector as r cap in that direction of r, then I can take the angle between this and this, that is P bar and r cap also, please remember. So theta is the angle between line joining O to P and P bar. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Let me move on. So the diagram is clear, children. Now let us continue our discussion. Okay, you tell me, all of you. Here there are two charges, plus q and minus q. At this point P, how many potentials are going to get created? Yes, your answer is right. Two potentials. Because last time also I told you, how many charges are there, that many potentials are going to get created. So plus q will create one potential, let us say V1 at this point. Like that, minus q will create another potential V2 at this point. Let us see what are the formulae for that. First V1, 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q by r1, because the distance from q to p is r1 and plus q charge. Next, V1 is the potential due to the point, that is plus q charge at the point. Okay. Similarly, V2, what is the potential at this point due to V2? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 minus q by r2. Okay, 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 minus q by r2. That is the potential at the point P. So please note carefully, minus q. Why minus q? The charge is negative charge. Okay, so we all studied in the first part that if the charge is plus q, write plus q in the formula. If the charge is minus q, write minus q in the formula. Okay, so now you see in the figure, I am showing clearly at the point P how many potentials are there. One is V1 potential, another one is V2 potential. That means at the same point, simultaneously two potentials are getting created. One due to plus Q, one due to minus Q. V1 and V2. Okay. Now let us move on, children. So at the point P, the electric potential due to the dipole, will be V is equal to V1 plus V2. V is equals to V1 plus V2. So V1, V2 already are there. Let's move on. So by the superposition principle, we have seen that the potential at the point P is V is V1 plus V2. V is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q by r1 plus minus q by r2. Q by r1 plus minus q by r2. Plus into minus. What it will become? Minus. So I have just substituted the formula, children. You see here, two formula we are having, no? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q by r1 for v1. Like that 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 minus q by r2 for v2. So take those two formulae, substitute in the formula. Then you will get 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, 1 minute, children. See here, 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 can be taken common. I have kept it outside. Then q by r1 plus minus q by r2. Plus into minus will become minus. So simplify q outside because it is common term. 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. Let us call this as equation number 1. I hope you understood how we got this. Okay. So v is equals to 1 by r1 into q by, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. Let that be called as equation number 1. Okay. Now, before we go on to the next, that is finding out 1 by r1 and 1 by r2, I want you to learn cosine rule. Okay. According to this cosine rule, if A, B, C are the three sides of the triangle as shown in that figure, and theta is the angle here. Okay, theta is the angle here. If you see carefully, for theta, what is the side here, opposite here, C. And the remaining two sides are A and B. Then C square can be written as C square is equal to A square plus B square minus 2AB cos theta. Okay, this max students will already know, MPC students, because they learnt in the first year in their trigonometry section. BPC students, please remember, it is very easy to learn also. C square, theta opposite, the side opposite to the theta value, C square is equal to A square plus B square minus 2AB cos theta. Okay, so I will apply this to calculate R1 and R2. Then we will get 1 by R1 and 1 by R2. Shall we do that, children? So our original diagram, okay, R1, R2. Now I want to know what is R1, what is R2. That is my ultimate concern. Okay, then if I know R1 and R2, I can substitute in the equation number 1. So already we know this, theta is the angle. Now can you apply the cosine rule what I gave you in the earlier figure for this one? Yes. Now you see this, all of you, this one. Just a minute, children. 1 minute. So that figure is like this actually. If you see, this is plus q, this is minus q, this is the point P, this is O, this is theta, and from here to here we have drawn as, okay, what is this we have drawn? 1 minute. Just a minute, children, I will redraw. Okay, point is P. This is R. This is R1 in the diagram. This is R. This is A. Can you apply the rule what I taught you? Now for theta, this is opposite. That means opposite R1 square is equals to remaining two sides. One is R, one is A. This or not? So R square plus A square minus 2AR cos theta. This is the value of R1. Okay, I hope I'm clear. Yes or not? So let me see what I got here. So coming up on the screen, R1 square is R square plus A square minus 2AR cos theta. So now I got R1. Like that I should know now R2 also. Okay, for R2 square is R square plus A square plus 2AR cos theta. Why plus 2AR and why this angle is 180 minus theta? That is easy. You know this total angle is 180 now. Here already theta is gone. If theta is gone, remaining angle is how much? 180 minus theta. So for that remaining angle, you must again apply cos rule, that cosine rule. Okay. So I will explain 1 minute. Again take the diagram, what you have used here, plus q, okay, minus q, in the point, okay, this is R1, this is A, this is R, and similarly, this is, children, let us draw it more neatly, so that will not have confusion, okay. So where was I? I was here. I'm drawing this. Okay. So this is R2. Already this is how much? Theta. Then this will be how much? 180 minus theta. Okay. Then now you see, for 180 minus theta, opposite side is R2. Remaining is 1 is A. Now this triangle you take. I'm putting double line, you see. Double line. Now seeing double line. Okay, 1 minute. To avoid the confusion, I will rub off the other line so that you will not have any confusion in your mind. Okay, this line I will rub off. Okay, let me rub off. Now you see only one triangle. And now tell me, apply that cosine rule again here for this triangle. Then what you will get? Who tell me? Shall we write and check what we will get? Okay, so let me help you. R2 square is equals to R square plus A square, sorry, I'm sorry, Chandra. So let me redo it, just a minute. One second, children. So I was having this. Let me finish it off first. Okay. Already waiting patiently. R A and this is R2. Okay. So R2 square is equals to, we will get R square plus A square minus 2AR, which is as per the original formula, cos 180 minus theta. This cos 180 minus theta is minus cos theta. So minus of minus will become plus. Then we will get formula R square plus A square plus 2AR. It's 2AR cos theta. Okay, what is this? This is R2 square is equals to R square plus A square plus 2AR cos theta. So I suppose the calculation is clear. R2 square is equals to R square plus A square minus 2AR cos 180 minus theta. Cos 180 minus theta is minus cos theta, and the value R2 square R square plus A square plus 2AR cos theta. Let's move on, children. So our equation 1, don't forget, 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q by 2 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. Okay, remember that is the equation in which I must get R1, I must get R2. Okay, similarly, R1 square is equals to R square plus A square minus 2AR cos theta. R2 square is equals to r square plus a square plus 2ar cos theta. Now tell me, I am taking r1 square. I am taking r1 square and see how I am simplifying. Okay. Let the graphic come up. Let's see. R1 square. This equation again I am taking. Okay. This is the equation I am taking. Right. R1 square is equals to r square. In the right side, what you are having? R square plus a square minus 2ar cos theta. Right or not? So, 1 minute. So, r1 square is equals to r square plus a square minus 2ar cos theta. I can write this as r square common 1 plus a square by r square minus 2ar cos theta. Okay, by r square. So this only in that graphic how I wrote means I wrote like this. Okay, because when you see the textbook it will be written like this. So I wanted you to just relate to the textbook. So I wrote like that. Okay, in the graphic. Now if you see this a square by r square. First, before that you cancel here 1r, then what you will get? R square 1 minus 2a cos theta by r plus a square by r square. Children, if you see carefully, this is the dipole now. This is plus q, this is minus q, and this is the, I'm sorry, line. Okay. So just a minute. Here, just a minute, children. I want to tell you something. So that is the reason I'm just trying to show you something. Plus q minus q. Okay, two charges. And this is the line. This is the point. Yes. Okay. This is a value. This is r value. Now, what happens if this point is very far away from the center? That is the question we are asking. If point is very far from O value, like let us say for example, A value is only 10 power minus 6 meters, but R value is about 100 centimeters or let us say 10 centimeters like that. Then what happens? R value is very greater than A value. Or reverse, I can write A value is very less than R value. If A itself is very less than R value, A by R, if this R will come this side, will become very less than 1. Okay, A by R will become very less than 1. Then A square by R square will be much lesser than 1. That means A square by R square will become very small value. Very small. Very small means I can tell negligible. Negligible value. Okay. Negligible value means I can neglect. That means this value is so small, I need not consider at all. I will remove it. I'll just remove it. Then if I remove it, I will be left off with what you tell me final. That r square 1 minus 2a cos theta divided by r is r1 square. Okay. So let me give the graphic to you. So this is what is the calculation. Check the calculation. I will keep it for a moment. R1 square is r square 1 minus 2a cos theta by r square plus a square by r square. I took r square common. 1r cancel. I got this. Okay. If r is very much greater than the, then a square by r square very less than 1. Then r1 square is equals to r square 1 minus 2a cos theta by r. Okay, by r. So just a minute, children. I hope this is clear. To a cos theta by r. Okay, so next, shall we continue? Okay, v is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, q into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2, that we already know. r1 square is r square 1 minus 2a cos theta by r. Let us call this equation as equation number 2. Now only r1 square I got. I must also be able to tell what is r2 square. Is this clear? r2 square is r square 1 plus 2a cos theta by r square. Huh? I hope it is clear. Can you work it out? Similarly, you must work out. Can you do that? Very simple. r2 square value, what did we write? R square plus a square minus, sorry, plus 2ar cos theta. That is implies r2 square is equals to r square common. Just now we wrote no, like that only. 2ar cos theta by r square plus a square by r square. That's all. Again we will neglect this. This is gone. 1r cancel. Then I will be left off with what? You tell me. R square 1 plus 2a cos theta divided by r. Okay, so that's what I am going to show you here. You see carefully. R2 square r square 1 plus 2a cos theta by r square, 2ar by r square. Okay, 1 minute, children. This is here. Please remember this 1r cancel. This is actually r2 square is equals to r square 1 plus 2a cos theta divided by r. Okay, so now again come back to the first equation, this equation. Okay, 1 by, if you take r1 square is r square 1 minus 2a cos theta by r. Okay, then if you take that equation, take a reciprocal of the total equation. r1 square reciprocal will be 1 by r1 square. R square reciprocal will be 1 by r square. Okay, into this term also totally take reciprocal, 1 by 1 minus 2a cos theta by r. Why, you will ask, sir, why do you want to take reciprocal? You can just like that only calculate. No, here I am having 1 by r1 square. No, from that 1 by r1 square I must calculate 1 by r1. How? Very easy. You know max, no. If I take square root of 1 by r1 square, it will become 1 by r1. That means I must take square root left side, square root right side. Shall we do that? Okay, let's see. So 1 by r1 is equal to, I took square root on both sides. By taking the square root on both sides, for this step, take the square root on both sides. After this step, what you do? Take square root on both sides. Okay, take the square root on both sides. Then automatically what will happen is, you will be able to see that 1 by r1 is equal to 1 by r into 1 minus 2a cos theta by r power minus half. I will just show you how we got this. Okay, 1 minute, you see. What is the value we are having? From r1 square I will show you, so that BPC students will not have any confusion. 1 minus 2a cos theta by r. Okay, then I will get 1 by r1 square is equals to 1 by r square into 1 by 1 minus 2a cos theta by r. Okay, now take square root both sides. Take square root both sides. Okay, if you take the square root both the sides, for this one what is the square root? 1 by r1. For this one what is the square root? 1 by r. And for this one what is the square root? 1 minus 2a cos theta by r whole power 1 by 2. Square root means power 1 by 2. No. Now this is 1 by r1 is equals to 1 by r into this 1 minus 2a cos theta by r. If I take to the numerator, it will become what? 1 minus 2a cos theta by r. If we take the term to the numerator, power will become, from plus it will become minus. Here plus power is there, that will become minus power. So that is what we have shown in the equation. Okay, see here. 1 by r1 is equals to 1 by r into 1 minus 2a cos theta by r power minus half. Okay, next one let us see. So our original equation, don't forget, equation number 1. 1 by r1 is equal to 1 by r into 1 minus 2a cos theta by r power minus half. Okay, using the binomial theorem, we can expand 1 plus x, binomial theorem expansion. Actual formula 1 plus x whole power n is equal to 1 plus nx plus n into n minus 1 by 2 factorial into x square, so on. This we will apply. Okay, here for which term I have to apply? For the power term. Where is the power term? You show me here. Where is the power term? This is the power term. This is the power term. You see here I am marking with red color. This is the power term. Here 1 is 1 only. This term is there, no, that take as x value. Okay, and work out. Let us see how to work out. Therefore 1 minus 2a cos theta by r power minus half is equals to 1 plus minus half into minus 2a cos theta by r. Okay, and so on. Let me show you, just a minute children. I will use whiteboard to explain to you. Okay, so I am having the term like this, 1 plus x whole power n. Just a minute. First the actual formula let us put. Let us put the actual formula first. Okay, what were we trying to calculate? 1 minus 2a cos theta by r whole power minus half. This is what I am trying to calculate. I want to know how to do this. Okay, right? For that formula 1 plus x whole power n, 1 plus nx plus n into n minus 1 by r 2 factorial x square, so on. Now substitute. 1 is 1, x is minus 2a cos theta by r, minus 2a cos theta by r. Then what we will get? 1 minus 2a cos theta by r power minus half is equals to, and n value is minus half. Then 1 minus half into minus 2a cos theta by r. Okay, next again here children, just a minute, here plus, and this n is minus half, n is minus half. Okay, and as per the formula again plus n into n minus 1 by 2 factorial into x square. What is x square? This is x value. That means minus 2a cos theta by r whole square. Okay. What is this whole square term? Can you guess? It will become 4a square cos square theta by r square into n into n minus 1 by 2 factorial. But this term we will neglect, children. This total term neglected. Why? Again I got a square by r square. And a square by r square is very less than 1. Already we saw. We took very less than 1. So this total term neglected. In the textbook they have not given, okay, expanded form. But you remember this is neglected. Then what will remain, you see, is equals to, now come back, 1 into, this minus into minus will become plus, 1 plus, this 2 cancel, gone. What you will get? A cos theta, 1 plus a cos theta divided by r. Okay, so I hope I am clear. 1 minus 2a cos theta by r power minus half. This is 2a. So I hope I am clear. So 1 minus 2a cos theta by r power minus half is equals to 1 plus a cos theta by r. That's what I am getting. The next term, let's call that equation 4. Okay. So our base equation v is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2, that we already know. This is equal to, this is second equation. This, from this we got this 1 minus 2a cos theta by r is minus 4. Power minus half is 1 plus a cos theta by r. So 1 by r1 is equal to, this value substitute here, children. This value, how much you got? This value is we calculated here. This is the value. Yes or not? Then this value you substitute here. So we will get 1 by r1 is equal to 1 by r into 1 plus a cos theta by r. Okay, let us call that as equation number 5. Okay, clear? Next one, or again base equation. 1 by r1 is also we got. Now question is 1 by r1 finished. I got 1 by r1 value. Now how to get 1 by r2? Same method. Similarly, r2 square is r square plus a square plus 2ar cos theta. Or 1 by r2 is equal to 1 by r into 1 minus a cos theta by r. I have simplified everything and put. If you want, I will show you. Just a minute, be patient. So what is it? Sir, you put everything directly. No, I didn't put directly. You see here, r2 square, r square plus a square plus 2ar cos theta. Is that what we are having here? Then r2 square, I must get, just a minute. Okay, I will take r square common, 1 plus, again just now we did know same like that only, a square by r square plus 2ar cos theta by r square. Okay, 1r cancel, right? This a square by r square neglect. Then r2 square is equals to r square 1 plus 2a cos theta by r. Okay, then from this, if you take reciprocal, take the reciprocal. Okay, if you take the reciprocal, what you will get? 1 by r2 square is equals to 1 by r square into 1 by 1 plus 2a cos theta by r. Okay. Now take square root both sides. Okay. And simplify. If you take square root on both the sides, what you will get? 1 by r2 is equals to 1 by r into 1 by 1 plus 2a cos theta by r power half. And now I know how to do. I can proceed easily. 1 by r into this, take to the numerator, 1 plus 2a cos theta power minus half. This is again binomial expansion, 1 plus x whole power n. Then what I will get? 1 plus x whole power n formula. 1 plus nx plus n into n minus 1 by 2 factorial into x square. We know x square, this is 2a cos theta by r. Okay, sorry. So this is x value, this is 1. So now substitute 1 plus 2a cos theta by r whole power minus half is equals to, what is the substitution? 1 plus nx. What is n? Minus half. Now x is positive. Earlier it was negative. 2a cos theta by r into, we will get x square, a square by r square term. That I am neglecting. Okay. Then these two cancel. This plus into minus will become minus. Then I will get 1 minus a cos theta divided by r. Okay. That is the value. So this value, if I substitute back here, then I will get, implies 1 by r2 is equals to 1 by r. So 1 by r into 1 minus a cos theta by r. Oh, very good. So clear. So you don't need to remember all these things. You might get, you might be thinking, sir, should I do all this? I just gave you how to do it. Okay. You can directly substitute 1 by r2 value when you are writing. 1 by r into 1 minus a cos theta by r. Okay. No need to think that it's a very lengthy derivation. So we are having our 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. Then 1 by r1 is 1 by r into 1 plus a cos theta by r. Similarly, I got 1 by r2 is 1 by r into 1 minus a cos theta by r. Equation 5, equation 6. Now equation 5 is 1 by r1, equation 6 is 1 by r2. Substitute in the equation number 1. Substitute 5 and 6 in the equation number 1. 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q into 1 by r 1 plus a cos theta by r minus 1 by r 1 minus a cos theta by r. What did I do, children? In the last step, 1 by r1 value I took, substituted. 1 by r2 value I took and substituted. Now shall we simplify this? Okay. Substituting 5 and 6 in 1. I am showing it again. Okay. Now 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q into 1 by r 1 plus a cos theta by r minus 1 minus a cos theta by r. 1 by r common I have taken. What is q into 1 by r? Q by r. Now this bracket open, children. This I will explain in a moment. You see here, this minus into minus plus plus. Okay. Now this minus 1 plus 1 cancel. Then what I am left with? A cos theta by r plus a cos theta by r. What is a cos theta by r plus a cos theta by r? 2a cos theta by r. That means continuation 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q by r 2a cos theta by r. This 2a into q will become 2aq. R into r will become r square. So now the simplification is easy. 2aq cos theta by r square. So v is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 2aq cos theta by r square. Now in this 2aq cos theta by r square, electric dipole moment is P is 2aq. Already we learned. Substitute. V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 P cos theta by r square. This is the final expression for dipole, that is the electric potential due to a dipole at any point P. Okay, so number of questions are appearing basing on this formula. Even in our NEET, JEE mains, like that exam also we are getting. You can check out the paper for 2020, NEET 2020 paper. Okay, so you can directly substitute the value and get the answer. Okay, so now P cos theta can be written as P bar dot r cap, where r cap is unit vector. Okay, where r cap is what? Unit vector. 1 minute, children. So children might be having one doubt. P cos theta, what is that? So I am back here. P cos theta. What did I write it as? I wrote it as, you see here, I'm sorry children, just be patient with me. Okay, now this is, I wrote it as, if you see, P bar dot r cap. R cap means what? Unit vector in the direction of r bar. That r OP line is there. No, unit vector means its magnitude is how much? Its magnitude is 1. That means this is actually in the form of a bar dot b bar. What is a bar dot b bar? You tell me. A mod b cos theta actually. Yes or not? So it means P bar dot r bar should be P mod r into cos theta. Okay. What is mod r? Value 1. That means P cos theta. That is how I am writing actually. Left side is equal to right side. Okay. So try to understand each and every line what is there in the textbook. You must be able to figure out, children. That is my actual aim for explaining so detailedly. You might be wondering why so detailed explanation we are giving. A small point in the textbook also you must be able to explain why they have put it into the textbook. Okay, P bar dot r bar r cap is P cos theta. So I hope now this formula gets converted as V is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 P bar dot r cap. Okay. Excuse me. Shall we move on, children? Let's go to the next slide. Okay. So now let us see. If you see carefully, now again the plus q charge, minus q charge of the dipole, that is a system separated by distance 2a. Now take the point, this is O center, you know. Now I took the point on the axial line. If I take the point P on the axial line, if I consider like that, such that its distance is r from the center, then this is, you know, this yellow color arrow is dipole moment. Then what is the angle between this P bar and R bar? Definitely 0, because both are lying in the same direction. Then here cos theta we are having. What will happen to that? If point P is on the axis of the dipole such that theta is 0 degrees, okay, then V is equal to cos 0 is 1, no. Then I will get formula V is equal to plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 P by R square. There is a reason for writing plus, you will understand in a moment. Okay, so let's move on. Again take the dipole plus q minus q separated by 2a, axis center O. Now point is taken other side, closer to minus q. Then what will happen? This is distance r of the point from the center. This is dipole moment. V is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 P cos theta by R square is formula we know for potential. I want to know what is the potential at the point P. If the point P is on the axis of the dipole such that theta is 180 now. Why? Now point is opposite direction of P bar. Then definitely this angle will be what? This angle will be 180. Yes or not? Between the direction of this R and P bar. Then cos 180 is minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 P R square, P by R square, because cos theta became minus 1. Minus 1 into P will become minus 1 by 4 pi P by R square. So I suppose you are able to relate to both the values. If you see carefully, this is the value with the earlier where the P is on the closer to the plus Q. Then positive potential is more, negative potential is less. So point P will definitely have plus potential only. Whereas here it is negative potential. Because the point is closer to the negative charge, you know. When P is closer to the negative charge, final potential will be negative only. Yes or not? It is far away from the positive charge and closer to the negative charge. Like that only you might get a doubt, one more doubt. What happens if the point is taken on the equatorial line? This point is seen now, where is it? On the equatorial line. Red line, equatorial line. Okay. Then what is the angle between the dipole moment and this one? Then the angle will be how many degrees? Your guess is right, 90 degrees. Then what is the formula? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 P cos theta by R square. Okay, if P is on the equatorial plane of the dipole such that theta is 90 degrees, line I have shown, actually you can imagine plane also. Plane means like this. Okay, a plane which passes through the center point O and which is perpendicular to the axis. Okay, like this. If I am able to show you, it will be like this. 1 minute, children. It will be like this. This is the axis and this is the plane. Okay, for any point on the plane, angle will be 90 degrees with the dipole. Then theta is 90 degrees. We will get cos 90 0, then potential will be 0. This is an important point, children. I told you that in the starting of the class, electric field will be there on the equatorial line. But now potential has become 0. This is the best example. They can ask in the examination question, give an example where electric field is 0 but electric field is not 0 but potential is 0. This is the best example. On the equatorial plane of the dipole, for all the points, potential will be 0. Okay, so this concludes the discussion on dipole. Let us move on with a small topic for the concluding part. For that, see what are you seeing at the center of the screen? Plus Q charge. This is the electric field of the plus Q charge. We know we are showing like this only, yes or not? the space around the charge where its influence is felt. Okay. Now, you have studied about this already in your unit 4. What are these lines? Divergent lines from the positive charge. Field lines. Yes or not? What are they? The electric field lines of an isolated positive charge. Field lines diverge normally from the positive charge. Okay, they are diverging. Now I will ask you one simple question. Tell me, what is the formula for potential due to point charge at any point in its field? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. What is the formula? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q by r. What is this r? Distance from the charge. Yes or not? Now what I will do is, I will construct a sphere around this charge. Can you tell me what is the distance r for all the points on the sphere? Let's see. So you tell me. These are the different points. I am marking, you see, like this. Like this I am marking, you see. All the points are same distance from the center or different distance from the center? All are same distance. Then what will happen? All these points are at same distance from the center. On the sphere, I am having number of points which are at same distance from the center. Sphere means ball. So you imagine the charge at the center of the ball, children. Then all the points on the sphere are same distance. That means this potential formula what you wrote, no. As per this formula, all points have same potential, or I can tell constant potential. Okay, all points on the sphere have same potentials. So same potential. So the spherical surface now is representing what? Points which are at same potential. Such a surface is known as equipotential surface. Okay, this already we know. Now this sphere what I have constructed is called equipotential surface. Equipotential meaning equal potential. All points on the sphere are equal potential. So let us define equipotential surface, children. A surface on which all the points are at constant potential is called equipotential surface. A surface on which all the points are at constant potential is called as an equipotential surface. Equipotential surfaces are the points on which surfaces on which all the points have same potential, that is constant potential. So if you are taking a charge, as I am showing on the screen, you are able to see one sphere around this particular charge. This is an equipotential surface. Similarly, the second sphere, that is also an equipotential surface. The third sphere, that is also an equipotential surface. Like this, the equipotential surfaces are concentric spheres around the charge. The equipotential surfaces are concentric spheres around the point charge. So let us continue. The innermost sphere is very close to the point charge. So potential is, let us say, for example, 50 volts. V1 is plus 50 volts. The second sphere, V1 is plus 30 volts. That means all the points on the second sphere are at 30 volts potential. Similarly, the third sphere, V3 is plus 20 volts. As I go away from the center of this sphere, that is point charge, I am seeing that distance is increasing. So potential is decreasing. Okay, but remember that there is potential difference between first sphere, second sphere. Like that, second sphere, third sphere, and so on. So children should remember that there is a potential difference between the concentric spheres. Let's move on, children. Now again you see equipotential surface. On that I took a point A. On that I took another point B. This is point A on the surface, point B on. Both are equal potential. Potential at A is equal to potential at B. So why I am taking that? I am taking a charge Q. Okay. So already you know that potential difference between 2 points Vp minus Vr is equal to work done to move from R to P divided by charge Q. So the charge Q is moved from R to P. You know that already, you studied in earlier class. Use that here. The potential, if I move the charge from A to B, then Vb minus Va should be equal to work done to move from A to B, work done to move from A to B divided by charge Q. But you know Vb and Va are equal. That means Vb minus Va will become 0. Then 0 is Wab by Q. Then if I cross multiply, I will get work done to move from A to B is 0. Very, very, very important point, children. The work done to move a charge on an equipotential surface is 0. So if I am having, for example, an equipotential surface around a charge, the work done to move the charge from A to B or on the surface is 0. Okay. So it's a very, very important thing. Like that you can imagine, sir, where I will get like that situation. Very simple. If you take, for example, nucleus. If you take, for example, nucleus. Okay. Around the nucleus, you imagine spherical surface, children. Around the nucleus, you imagine spherical surface. That spherical surface will be equipotential. So if you move a charge on the sphere, work done will be 0. That is the reason for that. This is the reason what we have calculated here. Okay. So such points are important for your entrance examinations. Please remember. Okay. Minute points. Work done to move a charge on an equipotential surface is 0. So field lines and equipotential surfaces are always mutually perpendicular to each other. See, white lines are field lines. These yellow lines are equipotential surfaces. And they are radially coming out. Yes or not? That means perpendicular to the surface. That is the reason why I told field lines and equipotential surfaces are perpendicular. So I am using one more example. This is uniform electric field. You know uniform electric field. You studied in unit 4, where the field lines are equidistant, parallel and unidirectional. All are same direction, all are parallel and equal distance. Now what I am trying to tell, in this uniform electric field, how are the equipotential surfaces? See how are they? They are planes which are perpendicular to the field lines. I will show you 1 minute. 1 minute, children. Let me show you. You see here, I am showing to you. This pencil represents this electric field. Okay, like this. This is the electric field, let us say. Then this plane, what is showing, what we are showing, this plane, that plane is equipotential surface. Like that, I can show one more plane also. I can show one more plane also. See, like this. You see, like this. That means these are parallel planes. I can put any number of planes like this, and all are going to be equipotential surfaces. This is one equipotential surface. This is another equipotential surface. Like that. Okay. So,
Sir, does that line represent lines of force of electric field? That is the direction of electric field.
yeah, this line, this pencil, what we are showing, that line is the electric field direction. Okay, field lines, and the field lines are showing the direction of the electric field. That means field lines and the planes are perpendicular to each other. So equipotential surfaces are always perpendicular to the field lines. So 1 minute children, I am showing you, sharing that screen again. Clear? So this is two-dimensional now children. But now I showed you with the help of that pencil and cardboard in 3 dimension, so that your visualization is clear. In physics, you need proper visualization to be able to see what we are trying to tell you. Okay. In the book, sometimes the diagram might not convey the exact picture. That is the reason I have showed you. I hope my explanation is clear to you. Let me move on. In an uniform electric field, the equipotential surfaces are parallel planes which are perpendicular to the field direction. Okay, electric field direction. Parallel planes, one by one. Okay, so that brings me to the concluding part. What have we learned, children? First point, potential due to an electric dipole at any point P is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 2aq cos theta by r square. V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 P cos theta by r square, where 2aq is P, dipole moment. Okay, a surface on which all the points are at constant potential is called equipotential surface. Work done to move a charge on an equipotential surface is zero. Equipotential surfaces are concentric spheres around a point charge. So to test your understanding, I am giving some questions. Can there be electric potential at a point with zero electric intensity? Next one, what are meant by equipotential surfaces? Next one, what is the work done to move a charge on an equipotential surface? So that brings me to the end of this session. I sincerely thank my coordinator, Shailaja Madam, for giving me this opportunity and for all the support. I also thank my campus principal sir, Sri Sivaraj Garu, for all the support, encouragement given. Thank you, children. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful session. Children, you might have understood very well what is the electric potential due to an electric dipole and also about equipotential surfaces. Sir, what will be the next session of this?
This next session will contain our continuation discussion on potential difference and the relation between the field and the potential, and continuation thereon.
Okay, electric potential unit is very important content wise, like the subject is interesting and very important in terms of competitive examinations also. So children, pay attention to these topics, the derivation part as well as the numerical aspect also.
4 marks questions and 2 marks questions are important for the exam, madam, on this particular chapter.
2 marks questions.
2 marks as well as 4 marks. That is short answer questions as well as very short answer questions. In this chapter, yes, madam.
In terms of actually examinations also, I think a NEET paper, as you have said, NEET paper has discussed electric potential due to a dipole.
Yes, madam. Every time there will be questions based on something or the other from this topic in every competitive examination. Very important topic.
So children, please once again visit this session and make a note of all the important things. Sir has explained clearly. Sir has explained with the handwritten explanation also he has given, so that you can understand in detail. So please go through them, make your own notes and refer to the textbook questions and try to answer in your own words. Any queries you can post in the comment section. Sir will be ready to answer your questions and queries. Thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam, for the kind words. Thank you. Good day, children.